The sounds of rugby league are back. The wait always seems too long. Tonight we welcome you to the Telstra Stadium with the reigning premiers, the Canterbury Bulldogs, beginning their title defence against the very talented St George Illawarra Dragons. In fact, only one team in the last 10 years have successfully put crowns back to back. Canterbury believe that they again have the quality to prove themselves top dog. And there are players missing for both teams, but Canterbury do field 13 of last year's grand final squad. At fullback, Luke Patton; on the wings, Hazem El Masri and Matt Utai. Jamal Alisi and Willie Tonga the centre pairing, Braithen Astor at 5'8", Brent Sherwin the half. Tony Grimaldi locks the scrum, Sonny Bill Williams and Andrew Ryan the second rowers, Andrew captaining the side, Mark O'Mealy, Adam Perry and Roy Asatasi in the front row. Their interchange, Corey Hughes and Chris Armott, Ben Shalosky and Nate Miles, coached by Stephen Folkes. Speaking of coaches, here are their records. Folkes going into his 8th season in charge, a great winning percentage of 63%. Nathan Brown at 31, still the youngest NRL coach, operating at just over 50%. He trails 2-1 in the head-to-head. The Bulldogs did win the only encounter in 2004. Tonight for the Dragons, Ben Hornby will skipper the side at the back, Colin Best and Reece Simmons the wingers, Ben Creagh and Matt Cooper the centres. Aaron Gorrell is at 5'8", the halfback Matthew Head. A back row of Sean Timmins, Dean Young and Lance Thompson. Luke Bailey, Michael Ennis and Justin Poor the front rowers. Their bench, Ashton Sims and Brian Norrie, Willie Manu and Corey Payne, and as we pointed out, coached by Nathan Brown.
It will be Canterbury kicking off the season. Right to left, the blue and whites run. Hornby sends Bailey back. First tackle of the year, made by Perry, Ryan and Tonga. Now Thompson, put down close to the sideline. Pulled down by Asatasi. Cooper now, the winger. The centre, I should say, who's back after injury. Now Ennis darts across the ground. Runs into O'Mealy. Help there from Williams and Asatasi. Justin Poor is tackled. Middle of the ground, 30 away. Tackled by Perry and Lolisi. Ennis displays a kick out of the dummy half area. It is with Patton coming away from his 10, a ring of red and white. There to put the number 1 down for Canterbury. Timmins leading the chase. Now Utai. Held by Ennis and Thompson. Sideline, Andrew Voss.
And Ray, it's a fast track for the kick-off for 2005 as well. A little bit of news out of the Dragons camp. Aaron Gorrell, plenty of pressure on him. He's going to be first choice kicker tonight as well.
Grimaldi. Perfect night for football. Sonny Bill. That was a Gidley pass to Lolisi on his outside. El Masri, a dummy half. Then through Sherwin and O'Mealy to Asatasi. Bumps away from a misguided shoulder. Inside the 10 metres. Penalty goes to Canterbury.
The first one of the night goes against Lance Thompson.
35 out right in front for El Masri. And he's got it on target. First points of the season. A goal to El Masri. The Dogs 2, the Dragons no score after 3 minutes.
But it's always interesting to see the defending premiers play their first game of the year. We talk about it so often, grand final hangover. Do they get complacent, or is the euphoria from last year, it hasn't worn off yet? Very interesting to watch the Bulldogs in the early stages of this game. Will they have the same steel, the same sort of intensity? They're off to a good start, long way to go.
Stay on.
Michael Ennis kicking off for the Dragons. And Anasta gets underneath it. Uses his front row forward, Asatasi, to take it back. 12 metres out from the line. Timmins is in there with Thompson. And now it goes to O'Mealy. Held by Bailey, put down on the 20-metre line, centre ground. They're defending the southern end of the ground, Canterbury. Williams, off the back, it goes out to Patton. And they are 35 out from their own line, with Young making the tackle. Charged down by Anasta. Penalty goes to the Bulldogs. Offside against Timmins.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there with Sean Timmins. A low kick hung up in the air by the Dragons defender, and Sean Timmins well offside.
Brent Sherwin finding the line. Just into St George's territory. 12 metres, in fact, on the first tackle for Asatasi. Perry. O'Mealy up to the 30. Big confrontation of bodies there. He ran into Dean Young, and bodies went left, right and centre. Patton in from the back. Lolisi required quick hands. Simmons comes in from the wing and wraps him up. 20 metres out.
Play with the foot.
Play on the eastern side as it comes to Williams. Ball in one hand. The 19-year-old gets it away. It's back from Perry, back to Grimaldi, back to O'Mealy. The number 4 came up, Cooper. They keep it alive. Anasta got the ball away. They still get it away. Ryan is with the ball. The captain running towards the 20. He finds Williams charging onto it. He gets it away. A fabulous passage of play. It's away now, El Masri. 15 out in the centre of the ground. Perry, now for Sherwin, puts the kick in. Here's trouble for St George, but it's saved by Simmons. Simmons batting the ball dead on the northern end of the ground.
Well, they're not edging into the season, are they, these two teams? The Bulldogs, there must have been 15 passes kept alive here. It began with Williams and it finished with him as well. There he is, only 15 metres out, getting the final pass away. And good defence from the Dragons, who read it well. They got up, they got in, eventually snuffed it out. The pressure is maintained.
Tremendous passage of play. O'Mealy back for Patton. Patton swerving, escaping the first tackle, but Thompson clamps him down with Bailey. Perry now using Roy Asatasi, who's done plenty of work early in the game. 12 metres out from the line. Cooper in number 4 made the tackle for the Dragons. Perry with a long ball, picking up Sherwin. A second man play, Grimaldi. 15 out from the line, losing the ball. A time for the Dragons to take a breath.
Certainly is. Brilliant football by the Bulldogs, but the Dragons have done well. I'll tell you what, they're enthusiastic, the Dragons, into defence. They were stretched from one side of the field to the other. They're all moving up, they're all talking. The problem is they're just allowing too many offloads. A lot of their work is going wasted.
Come together. Sunnyville in. Hole.
Just on that point, the Dragons finished at number 2 in the defence rankings last year. The Dogs finished behind them at number 3. So if anybody's got a chance of holding Canterbury out, it is the Dragons. Here's Bailey. 32 metres away from his own line, he gets a penalty. Perry tried to move him around and work him, and you would have heard Simpkins explaining the penalty to Perry. They will kick off their 30-metre line from the centre. Taken by Ben Hornby, finding the line almost on halfway. Ennis sends Young down the blind side, running at Lolisi. Sherwin is there with Al-Masri. And he's lost the ball. It's a penalty. It's a penalty for stealing the ball.
Welcome relief here for the Dragons. A piggyback downfield, and all of a sudden 6 tackles their way inside the opponent's half.
Young again. 24 metres out, down the eastern touchline. Ennis showing the ball. Inside ball from the halfback. Head was a great pass. The Dragons are 8 metres out from the line. Now it's with Ennis. That was Hornby who made that run. Ennis plays it. Simmons dummy half. The Dragons attacking now. Dummy by Head. And he's pulled down. 8 metres out from the line by O'Mealy. Now it's gone away. Out into the hands of Hornby. Hornby tries to slice through. Taken down by Grimaldi and by Perry. Ennis a dummy half. Now it's come away to Gorrell. The ball came off a Bulldog. Didn't come off his hands though. And they have got the ball 11 away from their own line.
And no knock-on rule there. And heavy involvement there from Ben Hornby. Nathan Brown would have been tempted to play him at 5'8". He's got the one on his back, but he's playing like a second number 6.
New time. Dual try scorer in the grand final. Appealing for a penalty. Perry for Williams. And Williams is out to the 30-metre line. What an explosive start to the game. Perry for O'Mealy now. Short ball to Sherwin. Gives it back on the inside for Patton. Patton uses his right foot step twice. And then is tackled right on a halfway. Williams having an absolute blinder of a game. Ball going down. Hornby taking his time. Coming out from his 10-metre area. And is met down there after a very good chase by Grimaldi and Lolisi. Simmons. And Reese is able to get it almost 20 metres out from his line. It is 2-0 in favour of the Dogs. A penalty goal by El Masri after 3 minutes. Bailey. 28 out from the St George Illawarra line. The 10 is Justin Poore. Now Thompson. Thompson ran to the line, passed before it, gave it to Timmins, who gave it to Bailey. Bailey steps inside Grimaldi, but he's ridden to the ground from behind by Sonny Bill. Ennis again. Now, it is Head with a bit of work to do to get in and away. Williams had a go at him, but he got the kick in. Very good kick too from Matthew Head under the circumstances. Here is Patton, who's had a lot of the ball in his hands in the opening minutes of the game. Here is El Masri now as the fullback and the wingers combine to take some of the workload away from the forwards. Here's O'Mealy running straight into Thompson, playing the ball in the centre of the ground just outside the 30-metre line for Anasta to go away to Ryan, working wide on the left side where he forms that combination with Anasta and Tonga. Here's Anasta getting a kick in. Charge down, 6 more tackles as the Dogs come up with it.
Market square. Hold.
Perry. Ball play back to Grimaldi to the halfway line for Asatasi. Dragons converging, 3 of them with Bailey and Young. Sherwin. He's got the ball into Grimaldi, away to Patton. Patton streaking down to the 20-metre line. The Dogs have got the Dragons backpedaling now. Williams inside 10, round the corner. Anasta, he is in to score. Great Anasta scores. Appropriate that Williams would give the final pass.
He's had a wonderful start, Sonny Bill Williams. He makes the difficult look easy, and that was a nice line run there. Inside and out, and then the pass round the back. We freeze it there. You can see he'll go that way, then he'll come this way. And as play continues, the defence goes in, the gap opens up. They don't know whether to all come up together or hang back, and Braithen Asta takes advantage.
El Masri attempting conversion of the first try in the game. It came at the 13th minute. El Masri converts. So it's the Bulldogs going out to a lead of 8 points to 0. The Dragons were brave for 13 minutes. Can they keep it up? A break and we're back on Friday Night Football. As we welcome you back to the Olympic Stadium, the Telstra Stadium. Ennis restarts the game, which has started at a frenetic pace. We've seen the best of Canterbury. We've seen the guts and the gallantry of the Dragons, but eventually something had to give. It is 8-0 in favour of the Dogs, a try to Anasta.
And Ray, after that first try, the message must have gone out from Nathan Brown. It's not enough to make the tackle. You've got to stop the football. Already this man, Sonny Bill Williams, that's his 6th offload in 14 minutes. Sometimes a team doesn't come up with that in 40 minutes.
O'Mealy now playing the ball on his own 40-metre line. Ball going away to his captain, Andrew Ryan. And now for Brent Sherwin. Sherwin taking it down to the 40, away to Anasta, looking to link up with Tonga. But they herded him back in field, tackled by Thompson and Cooper. Perry is the dummy half. Sherwin with a little kick, back and across, a banana kick. And it's found Colin Best, his first touch of the ball. Tackled by the kicker Sherwin and by Perry. And this is Ben Hornby, their talented number 1. Play just inside 20 now. Dragons into the park. Justin Poore taken down by O'Mealy and Grimaldi. Back for Michael Ennis, a dummy half, and then Bailey, and then a short ball. And oh gee, there was a chance for an intercept there, particularly when you're playing against El Masri, because he comes up and comes in. He's always looking for the intercept. Dean Young, 38 metres out from his own line. Tackle 5 is gone for the Dragons. It's gone away now for Gorrell, and Gorrell puts his kick away. And it's gone down. Utai let it bounce, and now he's scampering across towards his fullback. But he's held 18 metres out from his own line, a bit better than that. 21 metres, in fact.
The kicking game from the Dragons has been quite effective so far. Braith Anasta will look to give himself more room. He's had 2 kicks already charged down. There's a nice bust up the middle there from the fullback.
Ryan, a dummy half, linking up with Asatasi. They start something down the blind side, or hoping to, as Ryan gets it away. Anasta gives it back on the inside for O'Mealy, and he's picked up and effectively put to ground. That's a good tackle by Justin Poore. Now they put on a short side play, and the little kick from Sherwin is taken by the captain. Ryan gets it onto Utai. Utai goes in to score. Second try of the night for the Dogs. This little pocket dynamo loves scoring tries. They're going to have a look at it on the video, but that was a wonderful little kick by Sherwin. Great reflexes by Ryan, and Utai is having his try examined.
One of the best short kicking games in the league, Brent Sherwin. He can face one way and kick another, and that won't be a problem. I think that the man inside, which is Andrew Ryan, is at worst in line with the kicker. Got a great bounce, but you've got to put yourself in a position to get that bounce. Ryan did. Simple task to get the football to Matt Utai. Loves scoring in that corner, does Matt Utai.
Our video referee panel is not working at the moment. The referee's got the word that it is a try, and they're in again.
So it's been a great start for the Dogs. 17 minutes, 12-0 official now. Sherwin, they scored 147 tries last year. 24 of them came directly or indirectly off kicks by Brent Sherwin.
Can you believe it took Andrew Ryan a little bit of time to settle in after leaving Parramatta and joining the Dogs? But now he owns that left side of the field. There was some conjecture as to whether he'd stay there and Sonny Bill Williams on the far side. They've just slotted in beautifully. Beautiful avenues of attack down the left and right corridors wide.
Opening night of Rugby League for 2005. It's coming around, it's there. Put up the green flag, correct weight. It is a converted try to the Dogs. They go out to 14-0 as we go to Andrew Voss sideline.
Yeah, what about it, Ray? The aura of the Premier's really glowing here at Telstra Stadium. Now, we know in the past Stephen Folkes has won with his interchange just to get a feel of the match. He doesn't lock himself into making a change after 15, after 20. He goes with the flow of the game. Right at the moment, the Bulldogs bench is still. There's no sign of a change being made. Dragons have made their first. Ashton Sims on for Justin Poore.
Stay on.
Shrek. Enjoying every moment of it. Football back underway. Asatasi played that ball just inside the 20-metre line. This is O'Mealy, who's pulled down by his opposite, Luke Bailey. Then Perry runs from dummy half, decides to chance his legs for the first time. 35 out from his own line, and now Anasta does the same. Dragons probably feeling that a couple of the big men that block up the middle are starting to get tired. Why wouldn't they be getting tired? Oh, great ball, Sherwin. Picking up his fullback, I fancy, Patton. He plays it back to Perry. They're 10 metres into Dragons territory as Anasta puts up this high ball. Hornby puts it behind him, then he takes the tackle, a two-man tackle from the blue and whites. Ryan and Tonga, his best coming away from dummy half and stretching out, and he loses the ball. Anasta could turn this around to really hurt them. He will play the ball though, tackled and held by Hornby and Thompson as it comes back on the short side from Ryan to O'Mealy. He gets it back to Ryan. Ryan goes back to the middle of the ground for Williams. Puts on a step, looks to unload, looks to carry them now. He will play the ball 2 metres out from the line. Perry gets the ball away for Ryan. Ryan 7 metres away from the line. Third tackle gone. Canterbury working off a Dragons mistake here as Anasta turns it on the inside to Mark O'Mealy. Fourth tackle, a metre from the line. At 14-0, the Dogs up. Perry, Sherwin off his right foot, but Ennis was there to snuff him out. Ryan now for Anasta. He goes out looking for El Masri, intercepted by St George. And coming away is Ben Cray, but there's been the sound of the whistle.
Must be an
and a
offside.
penalty goes to the Dogs.
Offside play.
Well, the referee got a call from his touch judge here. It's obviously been touched by a Dragon and picked up by a man in an offside position, and Ben Cray would have been difficult to run down. The referee was okay. He was allowing it to go on, Paul Simpkins. But the call came from the far touch judge.
Well, I'm just glad they've made a decision. Whether they're right or wrong doesn't matter. They've made a decision and didn't let them run 100 metres to see if he scored. Either way, I don't care if they're right or wrong. I'm just glad they made the decision there and didn't wait to see if a try was scored.
So the tap is taken by Perry. This is Sherwin, now Asatasi. Gets it to about 5 metres from the line. He's not done yet. Lays the ball on the ground. Sherwin got a short ball to Williams. Williams takes them on, looks around to get the ball away.
Stand up.
And Williams to play the ball. 5 metres out from the Dragons line. Penalty goes to the Dragons. He didn't stand up.
Yeah, that's a good penalty.
Left the ball on the ground.
He might be arguing here, Sonny Bill Williams, but he did not play this ball correctly. He put the ball on the ground before rising to his feet. Still see the right knee is down. Good decision from the referee there, and I'm really enjoying Braith Anasta tonight.
So the free kick. Thompson taking a buffeting. Puts it back on the ground, and Nasta is there to pick up another loose ball. They're 20 metres out from the line again. So the Dogs presented with opportunities by the Dragons. Perry for O'Mealy. Here's Asatasi. Asatasi, like a runaway train, got it away. That's Patton. Patton who's held a metre from the line. Perry. Then for Sherwin. Sherwin delays, looks for Williams out wide, and Sonny Bill tries to get that arm free, carrying the ball, looking to offload. Dragons able to shut him down. Play back for Grimaldi. Sherwin, short ball away for Perry. Last tackle, Grimaldi again, terrible pass, picked up on the second bounce by Utai. And Utai will be called as held. It'll be a turnover.
I can't believe the quality of the football here from the Bulldogs, first game of the season. These fellas haven't played a game of this intensity since grand final day last year. But 5 months later, they turn out tonight, and everything is so crisp. Everything's just precision. It's beautiful football.
Yeah, I mentioned Braith Anasta. He's really playing a leader's role out there. Sometimes he can just go with the flow too much, but at 5'8", he's coming into first receiver. Having a wow of a game as Bailey goes back centre field, spins out of one, can't beat the second.
25 metres out from their own line. Replacement on is Ashton Sims for the Dragons. He's wearing jumper number 14. As the scoreboard shows, the Dragons are 14 points in arrears as that ball finds the line eventually. Just a metre from the corner post. We'll take a break, be back with you at Telstra in just a moment.
Get that ball in. Out.
And back at the Olympic Stadium, the scrum
One. Clear.
decided 10 metres out from the Canterbury line. Tonga tackle with the ball. This is Grimaldi running out looking for Lolisi, who he finds, and he's taken down by Simmons. They keep pushing to the right, and Williams looks for El Masri on his outside, but he goes to ground. 35 metres out from his own line, and another replacement is on. Shilosky, one of the new boys at the Bulldogs camp. Here's Asatasi, right on halfway.
He's a real Nathan Hindmarsh lookalike. Shilosky played one game for Brisbane in the top grade last season. As the kick goes towards the wing of Reece Simmons, he decides to pick it up, gets outside the 20.
Surrender. One.
25 out from his own line. 14-0 in favour of the Dogs as Hornby looks for a gap through, but Shalosky is there to pull him down with Perry. Played back for Matthew Head, then Dean Young. And this is Manu who's on. So the Dragons have made a couple of changes. Ennis, dummy half for one of the replacements, Sims, who just throws it down. And again, the Dogs come up with the ball.
Great one-on-one strip there from Braithen Astor.
I think you'll find the three mistakes that have happened in the last 10 minutes, the three turnovers offered by the Dragons, they've all come to the hands of Braithen Astor. He's really put himself in the right place at the right time. Shalosky, 31 metres out from his own line. Sims was one tackler, Thompson the other. Perry away for Asatasi, running at Bailey, and Bailey slithers down around the legs to stop his momentum. Young came over the top. Perry then. Off to the left of the ground they come, and here is Tonga trying to beat Gorrell, stood and got it away. Ryan back for Anasta. Anasta is 15 out from the Dragons line on 5. High shot shows you the Dogs as they line up their last play on this set. And it's Sherwin's kick, and Simmons has made a mess of it. It's gone off him and dead in goal. Line dropout coming. 14-0 then as we come to the line dropout.
Taking their time, the Dragons, just getting the breath in. He really needed to catch that one, Reece Simmons. Azam El-Masri ended up on his backside in the chase, but the referee and the touch judge were okay with that. Bailey a well-earned rest. They've had to work hard, the big men, for the Dragons. And that's why you've seen the changes. Manu on, Thompson on.
Well, they took an eternity to get the match back underway. The Dragons, they've really built some pressure for themselves in the last 10 minutes of the game. That's Shalosky. Tackled by another replacement on for the Dragons. Brian Norrie is on in 15. That is Roy Asatasi underneath that maul of players, including Young and Norrie. Perry gets it on. Ryan is with the ball, steps off his left foot, and he goes through. A desperate tackle pulls him down from Cooper, the centre. Perry there. Sherwin now. Here is Grimaldi. Stops at the line. Goes back to Patton. Patton is taken down. 10 metres out from the line, tackled by Manu. It is Grimaldi out from dummy half. Sherwin puts a kick in. Ryan will score. Ryan scores. The captain is over. The captain has scored. Canterbury's third try of the night.
And the second off the boot of Brent Sherwin. I've got to say, not a great deal of urgency, or not enough urgency from Colin Best. Andrew Ryan, again one of their stars tonight. They've had plenty of them. Goes to the line. So he frees it there. This man taking too long to get back as play continues. I think he could have got around a little bit quicker, although Ryan did have the momentum. Fine kick again from Brent Sherwin. That's the problem. You rush up, he puts it through. If you don't come up, you give them space to play with the football.
El-Masri converting the third try. Add that to a penalty goal earlier. Andrew Voss sideline.
And Andrew Ryan, one of a host of the Bulldogs players, playing up near their best tonight. What an off-season for this bloke, eh? 4 test matches for Australia on the Tri-Nations Tour. He has recently signed a 4-year contract. He's now officially the captain of the Bulldogs. He could be the captain of this side for the next 5, 6, 7 years.
Well, he's been right on the spot for the Sherwin kicks. They've scored 3 tries, and as Gus Gould pointed out, 2 kicks from Sherwin, and Ryan was there the first time to give it to Utah, the second time to score himself. Shrek getting some attention. Holden half-time tonight. Sonny Bill Williams will be on player care, plus Andrew Johns on the eve of his comeback in Melbourne this weekend. Utah. Corey Hughes is on for the Dogs. This is Roy Asatasi. Play back for Hughes to go to Shalosky. Asatasi heading for the bench. Chris Armott will probably come on. Here's Williams. Another incisive run. He's hurt himself, I think. Williams is in a bit of trouble out there. I think it's his ankle. Simmons coming off the 10. Outside the 20. Taken to ground by Grimaldi. In back play, Sonny Bill Williams. Timmins Have a look and see what happened to the big fellow.
Yeah, it was the ankle got caught underneath the body of the tackler.
Manu, halfway line.
I think he'll be
Right in
coming
the
off
middle.
shortly.
Right in the middle of the Victoria Bitter side. Hornby. Offside against the Dogs.
Offside.
20-0 in favour of the Bulldogs over the Dragons. Here they go, the Dragons, with a chance. Matthew Head is tackled. 10 metres out from the line. Ennis, Gorrell to Cooper. Cooper beats Utai. Cooper beats Ryan. Comes back to the 10-metre line. Taken by Patton. And by O'Mealy. Now from Ennis. Then to Head. Turns it back on the inside. That's Hornby with the ball. Ennis now. Drifting across. Then offers the run around. Ennis losing the ball. And it will come back. The knock on. 32 minutes gone. 20-0 the Dogs. Well, there's Sonny Bill Williams as you rejoin us at the Olympic Stadium. He suffered some kind of a leg injury. Just clutching at his right knee, as you can see. And that is the Canterbury doctor there in the dressing rooms. And then St George Illawarra had a good chance. It broke down at the last moment with Michael Ennis tackled and losing the ball.
Yeah, they created an opportunity there through the run around with Ennis. Unfortunately, the impact knocked the ball loose. Scary part for opposition teams, it's 20-0.
Hold still, ball in.
Only 32 minutes gone, and you don't look at St George Illawarra and say, well, gee, they've played poorly.
One, stand up.
They haven't been bad.
Tonga held down by Dean Young. O'Mealy bumping away from Manu. Then he bumps away from Sims, and it's left to Ennis to make the tackle with Sims. 30 metres out from the Canterbury line. And the 17 for them is Nate Miles. He joined Canterbury as a junior the same year as Sonny Bill Williams. 4 years ago. Lolisi near the halfway. Miles crossing halfway. Young again, prominent in defence. Sherwin on halfway. And it's a high kick down to Hornby. This one he's got safely in his grasp. Tackle on his own 20-metre line. Colin Best taking the tackle, sending it back to Head. Head back it goes to Hornby. And Cooper comes into dummy half. He's had a lot of defensive work to do, Cooper, as they all have, I suppose, but you'd love to see him putting on some attack for St George Illawarra. The ball has been lost, scrum will go down.
And this is what's killing them. I guess it's tiredness from all the defence they've had to do, all the chasing they've had to do. But as they're working the ball out of trouble, they're coming up with errors early in the tackle count, and that's just giving more possession to the Bulldogs and fatiguing the Dragons even more. They've got to hold on to the ball. That's got to be the one message at half-time. Let's complete some sets of 6 and try and get the opposition's tackle count up. Come on, boys, get it in,
Nothing
get it
silly,
packed.
boys.
Nothing
Eyes
silly.
are on. Wait, I'll tell you. Ease in, hold still, seconds in.
Michael Ennis's head keeps coming out of the scrum. The front row forwards getting a little bit anxious.
They get very temperamental in there, right? They get tired towards the back end of the half.
I'm still trying to work out why you'd want to put your head in one of those anyway.
Hold.
There's Sonny Bill Williams in the dressing room. Dr. Hugh Hazard working on him. Still no word yet to the seriousness of the injury. He'll be getting the best medical attention possible down there, you can be assured.
Sherwin finding the line. 20 metres away from the Dragons line. Anasta.
Stand up.
Standing game from the number 6 for Canterbury in the opening match of the season. Sherwin offloading for Shalosky. Steps off his left foot and takes it down to the 10-metre line, where he in turn is taken down by Sims and by Norrie. Here's O'Mealy. And again it's Young and Norrie hanging on. Mark O'Mealy close a couple of times. Corey Hughes for Brent Sherwin. Inside ball, Tony Grimaldi. Luke Patton, he ran into Mark O'Mealy. They will have a look at this one very, very closely.
Just have a look at the obstruction.
Well, he definitely runs into his own man, but is a defender impeded? If there is, it will be a penalty. If it isn't, it will be try number 4. Michael Anderson, a bit of trouble out there. He's picked up a right shoulder problem.
Well, I think if O'Mealy wasn't there, he'd have scored. O'Mealy was the only one going to tackle him.
Well, I think it's a penalty. I think Ashton Sims was denied, the number 14 for the Dragons.
I'm just wondering whether the referee is of the opinion that he has interfered with the play. No try penalty. No try penalty. That means that he's taken himself out of the equation, the referee, or the video referee has anyway. It all goes back to the O'Mealy presence in the whole exercise, and for that he's been penalised. So the Dragons. Matty John, sideline.
Okay, the news on Sonny Bill Williams, it's in fact an ankle injury, possibly some minor ligament damage. If the score stays like it is now, they won't risk him. They're going to put him on ice for 15 minutes, and they'll see.
Here's Hornby, 12 metres on his own side of the halfway mark. Head getting it off. That is Norrie in 15. Almost to halfway. Sims, one of the very good young forwards coming through for St George. It's gone away from Simmons, back on the inside for Ben Cray. 25 metres out from the Dogs line. Ennis, then Head, cuts out Young, goes behind him. Hornby joined in. The ball has gone away to the 17, Corey Payne. And play has the turnover effect as they lose the ball and the Dogs come away with it. Sherwin. Tackle by Ashton Sims. Took the halfback quite a while to play the ball. Sims trying to slow it down if he can. Played there by the Dog 17, Nate Miles. They're just inside the 40-metre line with El Masri. Now Corey Hughes, inside ball for Roy Asatasi. Back it comes for Luke Patton. The General's running free. Now Tonga in and away, down to the 20-metre line. He's pulled down. Tackler was Cooper. Now it's away to Anasta on 5. And the high kick. Sherwin's underneath it. Ball goes to ground. El Masri puts a kick in. It's gone away. Lolisi will score. What a freakish try. Wasn't a try. They're going to the video. But from what we've seen, that is a freakish exhibition.
Well, we're looking for a knock-on somewhere in the play, but it was brilliance. Jamal Alisi getting the pat on the shoulder. The presence of mind to know that there was a man unmarked out there and the kick had to go that way was excellent. Let's have a look at how it unfolded. All the players are on side from the Anasta kick. Luke Bailey is under it for the Dragons. He really doesn't contest it. In fact, it's Ben Hornby. I didn't see a knock on there from Sherwin. And Hazem El Masri deliberately kicks it out wide to where he normally would be standing. And Jamal Alisi, who missed the grand final last year through injury, gets across in the first game for 2005. I think they've seen that there's no knock on. And now they will see that Jamal Alisi gets part of the football down over the line. That will be another try.
These fans don't think there's a knock on. They want more points, and they're going to get them. 24 points to 0. James Lolisi gets the try. Hazem El Masri laid it on. And again, a kick resulting in a try for the Bulldogs of Canterbury.
Very good work there from Jamal Alisi. He's been a good buy for them. Hazem El Masri coming, looking for the football. Again, in this game, if you put yourself in the right position, good things will happen.
El Masri from touch. The kids loving every moment of it. 22 metres out. Coming around, but not quickly enough. This time he misses. Andrew Voss sideline.
What's going on here with that try? The AFL season starts in 2 weeks. First we had the high kick, then El Masri, the ruck rover, with a kick out wide to the centre half pocket, if that's the expression, Jamal Alisi. To temper the good news for the Bulldogs right there, Mark O'Mealy was forced from the field in all of that. It's an Achilles injury. They're going to assess his situation at half-time.
I don't know a great deal about AFL, but I can tell you there's not a centre half pocket.
I think he meant a forward pocket. I got a funny feeling that Sherwin actually kicked the ball, or endeavoured to kick the ball, so there was a double kick. And there's Nathan Brown with a face that probably echoes the collective sentiments of the Dragons camp. What have we been hit by?
We're coming with such high expectations. We pointed out, seems to be a lot of focus on the St George Illawarra Dragons. Yep, penalty here.
On the full.
Very smart play by Luke Patton. He worked himself back to make sure he had a foot on the dead ball line, and then he caught the ball. And here's the restart. And the tap will be taken deep inside Dragons territory.
Reece Simmons on the far side was motioning. The kick had gone out on the full. He was running back. Thought it was a penalty his way.
Grimaldi has scored. Grimaldi has put the ball over the line. The hard-working back rower, while Reece Simmons was telling the referee how not to referee, Grimaldi has strolled over and put the ball down for a try.
And it came through urgency. Brent Sherwin realised that time was running out, got the kick down from halfway as quickly as he could, and Reece Simmons on the far side. There's Luke Patton. He's got the foot on the dead ball line, knew exactly where he needed to be. And then Tony Grimaldi, who had the honour of captaining the Bulldogs in England for the World Club Challenge. He's an underrated player for them. Urgency everywhere, even from Corey Hughes to get the football back in play. The little dummy, and Grimaldi, didn't have too many problems getting across. A lot of tiredness in this Dragons defence.
It's El Masri from 22 out, 7 metres in from touch. Strikes it. Has he learned from the previous kick? Just took a coat of paint off the outside of the upright. So El Masri misses with his last 2 kicks. And at half-time, the Bulldogs in a sparkling and scorching first half. They lead the Dragons 28 points to 0, 5 tries and 4 goals. This man, Anasta, picking up some loose ball. Andrew Ryan, right place at the right time. All of that added up and pretty much mistake-free. While the Dragons, of course, were handing the ball over. A lot of it, of course, brought about by tiredness. They were chasing a lack of possession that was running at a rate of 71% at one stage. Second half is underway. Dragons now right to left. And Utai, who's already got a try in the game, has been absolutely poleaxed down there. The little bloke is trying to get to his feet as the Dragons seize an opportunity. Payne it is who plays the ball. It's come back for Head to Sims. The big kid, he's over the line. He's got it down. What a start. What a great start. Second half for the Dragons. Ashton Sims.
Some huge defence on Matt Utai. You don't see the far winger down on the ground stumbling around too often. High fives for the Dragons there. A big tackle. It was just the shoulder making contact from the number 17, Corey Payne. And they came. Good line running there from Ashton Sims. 1-on-1 with the number 3, Jamal Alisi. He had too much strength, carried a couple over. Good presence of mind there too. Kept the football up off the ground, got it down on the line. That's good enough.
Gorrell it is who takes the kick. So it's a converted try to the Dragons. Away to a fine start. But there's a hell of a mountain to climb. Andrew Voss.
It's a bit of an injury toll, Ray, out of tonight's match already too. Repeating that news on Sonny Bill Williams, the ankle injury not serious. In fact, you may even see him at the sideline at some stage later tonight. He hasn't changed or anything like that. Matty Johns, you were with the Dragons there at half-time. What did you find out?
Yeah, well, Nathan Brown, he's smart enough to realise a lot of that stuff that happened in the first half's out of their control. They got a young side. He just said, boys, let's stay positive. It's the first game of the year. Let's not lose control. Let's just persist.
Well, they've certainly done that. shot of Utai while the boys were talking indicates that the winger is quite okay. Here's the try scorer, Sims, out to the 20-metre line, rounded up by the Dogs' defence. 3 of them, in fact, including Corey Hughes. And that is Norrie, 25 metres out from his own line now. Away from head, it went to Manu. And then a tackle that really put him away from the 17, Nate Miles. Canterbury vigorous in defence.
See Marco Muley coming down there, the boot off, as Andrew points out, won't be back. Last tackle against the Dragons now. Matthew Head drives it low into the corner.
Patton is back there on his own line. The chase is good. Amazing what a try some points will do. The chasers get keener. The defence gets more rugged, more intense. Utai wrapped up in a 3-man tackle in front of his own uprights now. Here is Tonga. Young, the main tackler, in 11. Corey Hughes still on a dummy half. And Andrew Ryan put away on the far side of the ground by Cooper in number 4. Tonga again. 35 metres out from his own line. That's the 5th tackle call. And Asta. Kick allowed to bounce. Reece Simmons goes outside his 40-metre line, but Grimaldi is there. Grimaldi and Lulisi making the tackle. Now Timmins, who's playing centres, has gone in one side and come out the other. Tremendous effort by Timmins. Now a hand has gone into touch.
Already held.
The defence has been penalised for working on Timmins after he'd been called held. Ennis just kicking the ball over the sideline, so they set themselves up to take the tap. Manu turns it back to Ennis. Ennis away to Head, and he's picked up and put away by Asatasi. 8 from the line. Now 15 as they go deeper and wider. Here's Cooper. 12 away from the line now. Now they've got 2 on 1. They should score. The Dragons are in through Corey Payne. Corey Payne has scored their 2nd try in 6 minutes of the 2nd half.
And the difference with this start of the second half is that the Dragons are in control. A couple of good sets of 6 where they've controlled the ball. They've turned the Bulldogs around. They've made the Bulldogs work to get it out of trouble. Now with a bit of fatigue, here's Timmins. He runs straight over the top of Sherwin. That's the aggression that they need. But it came off the back of a great defensive set of 6 where they got the ball back on halfway. Then a little short side raid. A fake to the open. Good work by Gorrell. He will draw. And number 17, Payne, will go over to score the try, but off the back of 2 very, very good sets of 6 in defence by the Dragons, a good kick and chase, and wear the Bulldogs out. Get a little bit of fatigue in their system and see if they can still tackle.
This goes over. All of a sudden, the opposition just need to look a little bit more closely at things.
Gorrell's attempted conversion just wide. Let's go to the sideline, Andrew Voss.
Yeah, Sterlo, further to that, they pulled off one of the biggest comebacks of all time last year in a match late in the season against Manly. Nathan Brown feeling a little happier right now, and Corey Payne, he's a Bulldogs junior, you know. He played in the Jersey Flegg Premiership winning side just a couple of seasons ago. He's from Chester Hill. You don't get too much more Bulldog out of than Chester.
They did supply another famous Bulldog, didn't they? Chester Hill.
Yes, Terry Lamb, of course. One of their very favourite sons. Their all-time greats who this week said that Sonny Bill should be put on a 4 or 5 year contract. The restart from Braithen Nasta in that number 6 jersey. Dragons are springing the step.
Sims, he's been a leading light in the resurgence. 10 minutes or 6 minutes into the second half. 2 tries, and the Dragons playing with renewed zest. This is Matthew Head, almost to the 40-metre line. Some simple stuff, no fancy stuff, getting themselves into a position to strike. Sims, centre of the ground, 42 metres out. Stephen Folkes watching on. 8 times to a grand final as a player or a coach for 5 victories. And Gorrell's kick will find the line.
He doesn't want that. You don't want the ball to go into touch and allow the Bulldogs to walk back, have a rest before they work it out of trouble. He's got to keep the ball in play. That's what produced the last try. He wants this to stay in field. He wants the Bulldogs forwards to have to run back to get the football. All night the Bulldogs have got the football when it's in front of them. The one time they had to run back to get it, the next set of 6 in defence was awful. Keep the ball in play, mate. Keep it in play. Work them over.
Men together. Hold still. Ball in. Hold still. Stay in, Locks. Stay in. It's out.
Dogs coming away from their own line. That is Tonga. Miles. Tackled over the top by Timmins and by Bailey. Asatasi, he's very light on his feet for a man that wears number 10. Tackled by Bailey. Corey Hughes. Face pass. And finding its mark. Play by Lolisi. Given by Hughes. On to Sherwin. Back now for Miles. Good pass. Well, it looked like it was going to be, but Luke Patton just couldn't make it stay.
It's been very impressive, the number 17 for the Bulldogs, this Nate Miles. That pass, well, he might have been better off holding on to it, but if Luke Patton happened to grab it, the fullback was away, but he's a willing lad. He's got the right build to make an impact up
in, ball in
the front 6.
Stay in, out.
Dragons now. Off. Ooh, gee. That rocked him around a little bit there. Bailey. Asatasi was the man dealing out the punishment. Now Manu is going backwards. Under the tackle of Corey Payne and James Lolisi. That's Young. Halfway line. Bailey, a little juggle. Asatasi goes high. Shilosky underneath. Through to Gorrell now in the number 6 jumper. In the absence of Trent Barrett. And Luke Patton watching it go dead. We'll take a break. Be back in a moment. 28-10. Shilosky, as we welcome you back to the Telstra Stadium with the news that a 28-0 lead for the Bulldogs at half-time has been reduced to 28 points to 10 by the Dragons, with the Dogs getting Chris Armott ready to come into the game. Asatasi, short ball, Patton. He's had a fine game, the number 1. He's lost the ball this time, though.
No, listen. It's a legs tackle. He's allowed a little bit of time there. He gets up, he loses control of the ball. He lost control of the ball.
There's a couple of subtle changes in interpretation this year, which we'll point out through the course of the year. One of them is the tackle around the legs. You're actually given a little bit more latitude for that type of tackle, because it was believed by the coaches it was a disinclination for their players to actually go around the legs in the modern game. Trying to bring that back. Oh, that's very close to a Shepherd. Just pulled out in time as Ryan was able to make contact.
Here's Ennis now leading this charge down the short side. Cooper for Bailey. Bailey upended, put on his back. 30 away from the Bulldogs line. Gorrell, head. Decoy runner, then Timmins. Lofted pass over Thompson. Simmons has got the ball, in and away. Lolisi's got him though. He's solid down this side, isn't he, Lolisi? Thompson able to get it away. Timmins is there. Lofted ball over to head. Short pass up on the inside. For the Dragons, number 10, Justin Paul. Ennis is with it. Now it's away to head. Puts a kick in. Decoy run by Bailey. There's a chance for Colin Best. He got the ball away. Cooper has scored, I think. Yes, Cooper has put the ball down. Well, it was quick reaction by Best. I'm sure he marked the kick. and he must have passed it straight down to Cooper.
He did indeed, Colin Best. A bit of a confidence boost to the last couple of seasons for Hull in the English Super League. A little bit more joy on the Dragons camp at the moment. Very athletic player. The kicks are good ones. We freeze it there. You can see, look at that man there, the run-up that he's actually got on the opponent as play continues. All the momentum with the chaser. Climbs up, does catch the football, and made a bird of it by throwing it back to last season's leading try scorer for St George Illawarra, Matt Cooper.
Now let's just look at the equation here. 27 minutes to go. Mark O'Mealy's got his boots off. Sonny Bill Williams is on cotton wool. Down to 15. And the gap could only be 12. This is one that's got to go through.
Dorrell, it's going away on the same channel that El Masri went on 2 occasions from the same place. 28-14. So the Dragon supporters are on their feet for the 3rd time in the second half. They've reduced 28-0 to 28-14.
Now you watch the first half and everyone's asking the question, how's anyone ever going to beat the Bulldogs? Then you get the answer within 10 minutes. A real big help is hold on to the ball, turn them around and make sure you complete your sets of 6. As soon as they've done that and the Bulldogs are a little fatigued in defence, there are some opportunities for the Dragons.
Thompson on the end of the passing raid, 20 metres out from their own line. Bailey, and he runs into the 15 for the Dogs. Chris Armott from Parramatta to the Dogs this year. There's Ennis. Tackle looked a bit high from Corey Hughes. As the kick is put in by Head. Patton is back there inside his own 20. Now he's outside the 30. And he's pulled down out on the 40-metre line by Cooper. Here is Tonga now. Looks at Cooper. Tries to outdance him, but Cooper is strong down that right side defence for the Dragons. Utai.
Is that a state of origin rehearsal for later in the season? Tonga up against Cooper.
17 is Nate Miles. Nathan Brown with, I guess, a little flicker of a smile occasionally now. Chris Armott. 18 away, centre of the ground. Here's Sherwin, another of those kicks. And Hornby will try and get it back. Not frightened to pass, finds Colin Best, and he's taken into touch. Taken into touch.
Yeah, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You need the ball. You've got to get it back into the field to play. There's Bulldogs coming from everywhere. Hornby goes back. It's not going to reach the dead-in goal line. He's got a player in support, says, you have a go, brother, get us out of here. He gets him out all right, but the field isn't wide enough.
In retrospect, the Dragons would have preferred to have been tackled in goal. They get a line drop out from under the posts, pick up 45, 50 metres, make the tackle on the 30.
Well, if he touches the corner post first, where's he dead in goal?
Out.
Rabbits, you're the expert.
He would have been dead in goal, but he didn't take the corner post. The tackler did. Colin Best went into touch. The touch judge got it right. The ruling is right. Sherwin away for the 17, Miles. 2 metres out from the line, the junior kangaroo. Here is Perry with those thighs straining and looking for leg drive. And I think he might have it over.
That will be tackle 3. Let's check for a hold up
Simpkins
there.
wants to look at it.
Tackle 3, so if he is held up, Adam Perry will go back to the 10-metre line. They'll have another 3 tackles to go. But from the reaction from his teammates, they believe he's got the football down. Hasn't yet. Does there. Point of the football touches the ground.
It's a try. Few and far between for the chunky number 9 from the Bulldogs, Adam Perry, 32-14.
It's just what you don't want. When you're staging a fight back as the Dragons are doing, you've got to keep the opposition scoreless. And right near the try line here, Perry finds himself one-on-one. He's built low to the ground, he's strong. And Nate Miles, great awareness from his teammate to help him get the ball into the turf. And that just takes the wind out of your sails a little bit.
Yeah,
You're mounting a comeback and they score again.
Luke Bailey will be disappointed. He got a bit personal there with Miles. He pushed the big front rower, and in doing that, it just stopped him from getting there a second earlier to the ball carrier in Perry.
El Masri raises the flags. The Dogs 34, the Dragons 14. Andrew Voss, sideline.
Well, what it does to it probably keeps Sonny Bill Williams in the dressing room, doesn't it, with that try being scored. They did say they would use him only if necessary. Pardon me being selfish, but I was sort of hoping the Dragons would get another try, bring it back to 28-20. This crowd would have erupted if Sonny Bill Williams walks down the tunnel ready for another stint.
And there's the Bulldogs army. It's a good crowd tonight. I think there's more than 30,000 here, as predicted. And I might be wrong, but I think it's been a very well-behaved crowd. And that makes me happy to say that, believe me. They've worked hard to get this code of conduct going, and I think it might have, well, at the moment it's working good. The 15 for the Dogs is tackled, that's Armit.
Yeah, plenty of congratulations to Malcolm Nade. The Bulldogs camp, he's worked hard in a lot of areas. Dominant tackle there from the Dragons on the 20, back to 30.
Good tackle by 17 on 17, paying on Miles. Corey Hughes able to get it away, good work. Lolisi. They swarm in, led by Thompson. Reece Simmons, Sean Timmins, El Masri. 20 points the margin, 34-14. As the Dogs kick towards Colin Best on the right side of the Dragons offense. Ryan making the tackle. Here's Hornby. That's the ankle, the Achilles of Marco Mili. Oh, gee! Top half of the body rocked around there. Justin Poor. It was a big shot from Nate Miles that shook him up. Corey Hughes played his part too. He's no baby though. Justin Poor. Bailey. 8 metres into Dogs territory. To the air, off the boot of head. Very high, down to Patton. And Hornby, one-on-one, comes through and puts him to ground. Romaldi to El Masri. Tackle by Ennis, and Bailey puts his big frame on top of it all. Hughes for Lolisi. Taken by Bailey and Simmons. 22 metres out from their line. Well, they were having a party at half-time. But they are going to take home some bruises, the Dogs. And the pendulum has sort of swung, hasn't it? Simultaneous with the loss of Sonny Bill. Tonga! Down the left side. In a touch.
They slid well there, the Dragons. In the end, the Bulldogs ran out of room. As he made the tackle, Colin Best, he actually knocked the football out. Not deliberately, so it will be a Dragons feed just inside their half.
Together, ball in, out.
Halfway scrum. Gorrell trying to work a player back on the inside. It was Timmins. That's Poor. 7 metres into Dogs territory. From Ennis to Young, Young to Thompson. Bounces away from Corey Hughes' shoulder. Got the ball away. Ennis on, Bailey away. Then it goes from Hornby. Cooper has put his wings on for a few strides. Pulled down from behind by El Masri. Cooper plays it back to Best. Now through to Gorrell. This is Head. Short ball on the inside for Hornby. So the captain will play the ball. 15 out from the line. Now it's to Head. Inside for Young. Back to the middle. Back to where they played the ball. Hornby away to Ennis. Ennis gets away. Throws a dummy. Looks for an opening. Takes a tackle. Gets it to Simmons. Puts a little kick in. Ball is loose and goes dead in goal. We'll take a break and be back in just a moment. 34-14 the score. Friday night football. Welcome back. 34-14, the Dogs over the Dragons. As Braithen Astor Takes the line drop out. Oh! It didn't go very far. And Matthew Head snatched it out of the air. The Dragons on tackle 1 are 11 metres from the line. Cooper tries to break through. Pulled down by Ryan and by Asatasi. Away it comes from dummy half Gorrell. Head gets it back. Hornby will score, will he? Hornby must be terribly close. Just short of the line. Ennis, lofted pass, finding Gorrell. Gorrell flick passes. Cooper can't handle. It goes to ground, and Simpkins will order the knock-on. No, he's given a penalty.
He's played advantage here.
Penalty goes to the Dragons. They press on. Timmins inside the 10. Knocked down by El Masri. Tackle count restarts. Hughes the tackler. Played back to Timmins. Timmins towards the middle. Gets the ball away to Justin Paul. Paul near the sideline, near the try line. Releases the ball. Thompson goes ahead. Thompson across the ground. Bailey. Now it's gone to Gorrell. Gorrell gets it away. It's Corey Payne with the ball. He looks for the line. He's held and put down. 5 metres out from the line. Dummy half is Ennis. Comes to the left of the ground. A kick through by Head. And he will score, Head. Head scores. Well, a dummy run, a decoy run. Canterbury fell for it. And Matthew Head, the kicker, has gone in to score adjacent to the uprights.
Well, plenty of raps from Brent Sherwin in this department. First half, Matthew Head showing his skill with the football close to the line, so he frees it there. This man here is the decoy runner that Ray is talking about. He goes in there and that holds some players up as play continues. He kicks. The decoy player taken out. Everybody forgets about the football except the number 7. Next to the post, 4 will become 6. We still have a game.
Well, I think he was kicking for Young. I think he wanted Young to chase the ball into the in-goal. And Young actually collides with defenders, and that opens the way for Head to go through and score. Very excited here, the lady. Have a look at that. She said, I don't know what happened there, but I like it. We're in again.
So Matthew Head, the goal kicker on this occasion.
That was great work from Justin Paul. He was going over the sideline, second tackle. Got it back to Lance Thompson, somehow kept the ball in play.
Head has missed it. An absolute sitter. It was a gimme. 34-18.
Still doesn't change it all that much. You know, they've shown enough here tonight, the Dragons. At half-time, it looked terrible for them, but they've fought their way back. Peter Sterling made the comment, you know, you train all summer, you look up at the scoreboard, it's 28-0, and all of a sudden you're out of the game. But you're not out of the competition. You can build your season on the spirit they're showing here in the second half. If they can take this right to the wire, if they can take this right to the 80th minute, they'll have something to take home with them tonight to get ready again for next week. Coach Brown, that's what he'll be looking for. Go right to the 80th minute here.
Anasta with the restart. Well, this is a great start to the season. I've just been handed the crowd. It's a club record for the Dogs. 33,105. Fantastic start. That not only is good news for the Dogs, it'll be great news for David Gallup.
Everyone's been waiting for the footy.
Here's Thompson. Ennis gets it away. Bailey runs it at the Bulldogs forwards. Sunday football on 9. Broncos versus Cowboys. You'll see that at 4 o'clock. Here's another chance. Just breaking down at the end of the tackle count.
Well, what was Brent Sherwin doing back there? That could have been very dangerous for the Bulldogs, and Brent Sherwin read it perfectly. A little chip kick back on the inside. If he's not there, Hornby grabs it, one to beat and a couple in support. Sherwin comes from nowhere. Now he's come from the other side of the field to be in behind the line and make the tackle. Good stuff.
Yes, that telecast on Sunday, 4 o'clock. The Battle of Queensland, the Broncos versus the Cowboys.
Move to the side.
5 metres from halfway, played by Asatasi. Hughes is with the ball, showed it, then went back looking for Adam Perry. Tackler was Bailey. He'll be penalised.
No one. Too slow. Out of there. You're just laying there.
Well, that's the first hold down penalty tonight. It's been a very fast-paced game, even though the rules say the play the balls will be slower. And that time Bailey made a mess of it. The penalty was correct.
Chris Ahmed to the 30-metre line. Perry, try scorer. Asatasi, non-stop worker. He's had a very strong game, Roy Asatasi, tonight, filling very big shoes. This is James Lorisi, also one of the try scorers. Perry, long ball, Sherwin. Well, did Asatasi take anybody out? Referee saw it, allowed it to go. Patton is tackled. 9 out from the line. Andrew Ryan gets away from Hornby and puts it over the line. Oh, what a captain's try. One captain on the other. He brushed Hornby away. And then he just set his compass and headed for the line. Andrew Ryan scores.
He was in doubt coming into this game. He's carried an injury off-season. That's why he didn't go to England. Great upper body strength here. You see the Dragons defender closest to the post actually comes up too quickly. As we freeze it there, this man has come up and opened up a hole, and Andrew Ryan accommodates by going straight through the middle. I keep saying the man most dangerous out there is the man carrying the football.
So his second try for the night. Not a bad way to start your official career as captain of the defending premiers. And El Masri converts his captain's try. Let's go down to Matthew Johns.
Joined by Mark O'Murley. Mark, Achilles tendon.
Yeah, it's a little bit sore. I don't think it's too major, but I didn't want to push it too far.
Fingers crossed for next week.
Yeah, hopefully, but if not, the week after.
Great first 40 minutes. Is that as good as you guys have played?
Oh, I think so. I think we completed we only incompleted 2 sets out of the 23, so folks was pretty happy.
Yeah, exceptional. Good luck with the injury.
Thanks, mate.
It's Chris Ahmed. And again, they've been too long in there.
Skipper.
Let's stay with the
Skipper.
referee.
Who's captain? I understand your situation, but in those tackles are the same as the ones up there. We need movement straight away. They can't be laying all over them. They need to go to the side, okay?
Why's he got to bring the fullback up to tell him he makes 2 tackles a game? I know he's the captain, but he's got to run 80 metres up to get a coaching lesson. They got that ruling in the off-season. They don't need a coaching lesson now. There's 10 minutes to go in the game. Ray?
7 penalties apiece. Well, it's protocol. It's called rugby league protocol. You've got to tell the captain what you're doing with these penalties. Sherwin, Ryan, they join forces again. Ryan turns, looks for a runner on his inside. He will play the ball 12 metres out from the line. Perry thinks about number 2, and he's tackled 2 metres from the line. Asatasi. Now it's with Hughes. Dummy to Patton, intercepted. This is Matthew Head, the halfback. Will he have the pace? I don't think so. They're coming. They're coming across. He's made it. He's made it. Matthew Head. Unbelievable speed. Or should I say stamina. They chased and they chased, and Peter Dowse, the CEO, is a very happy man. I wouldn't have taken 10-1.
Mate, it was like being at Randwick. It was absolutely sensational down this western touchline.
He was home as soon as Rabbit said he wasn't going away. Let's have a look. He's out here by himself. Freeze it there. This is Matthew Head. He's got to make a decision. He's got these blokes coming at him. Let's go for the football as play continues. Swoops, gets it in the chest. Now, Brent Sherwin is the closest chaser coming across on his right. He's not a speedster. Haslam's coming from behind. The little fella gets close. leaves the ground shortly, dives across to make a bird of it, excuse the pun. That's a long way to travel with little legs.
Did you ever run that far to score a try?
No, mate. No, I reckon if you added up all the runs over made, they wouldn't have totaled that many metres.
Matthew Head gets his second try. Gorrell comes back on as the kicker. He's turned 4 into 6. The Dragons refusing to lie down. 40-24 the score, a break and we're back.
It's the second try scored by Matthew Head, and the try given from the sideline by Aaron Gorrell.
40 points to 24 on Friday Night Football. Most entertaining opening in front of a record Bulldogs crowd here at the Olympic Stadium. Bailey comes back. Grimaldi and Asatasi, the main tacklers. That's Ashton Sims losing the ball. It's been ruled as a knock-on. No offence apparently committed by the Bulldogs. Scrum, loose head and feed to the blue and whites.
That's another area where the referees will have a look at a change in interpretation, is the raking of the football. If it's a consequence of the tackle, it's play on, no dramas. There has to be obvious intent with a rake for the penalty to now be awarded. And I think that's a great way to look at it.
Sherwin feeding the scrum. If that came out between and behind the inside feet of the second rowers, I'm not here. Perry for Ryan.
Hasn't done since 1968, right?
Yeah, well, it was one of the rules they were going to really clamp down on. Here's the 15, Ahmed. 12 metres out from the Dragons line. Perry. Now for Grimaldi. Asatasi. And on the burst, Corey Hughes will score. The hard-working dummy half, Corey Hughes, has scored for the blue and white Bulldogs. The defending premiers now back into safety. 44-24.
Excellent angle running here from Corey Hughes. Caught out the defender, Matthew Head, by the very fact that he came back at the play. They come wide, we freeze it there. Have a look, he starts out here and finishes coming back at the player. Play continues into the hole. By the time Matthew Head had reacted, Corey Hughes was actually behind the line. Quality play, Corey Hughes. He comes on after a period of time, after Adam Perry's established a platform, and then he uses his skill as a former halfback.
And that try is a product of all the football the Bulldogs have played tonight. A lot of the time they've thrown the ball behind that decoy runner and given it to players coming around the edge. That's where Patton came on the previous play and threw the intercept ahead. They're throwing second man plays. Decoy runner through, out deep to another ball player, and then he goes to the edges. That time Corey Hughes ran the decoy line, but it was beautifully held up for him. The defence held off, the gap was there, and across the line he goes. Nice play by the Dogs.
El Masri looking for his 7th goal of the night. 20 out, 18 in, and straight over the black dot. 76 minutes down, 46-24.
As I was saying earlier, I think they've done enough tonight, the Dragons, to suggest that, you know, they can put this behind them and get on with the rest of their season. There's Mark O'Malley in the dressing room. He had an early night, courtesy of an Achilles injury. Sonny Bill Williams, if you're just joining us, was injured after a blistering first 25-30 minutes of the game. He was absolutely outstanding, Sonny Bill Williams. He got an ankle problem. They put him in ice for the second half. But the Dragons, with this second half comeback, have shown enough to their coach that they can improve from here.
This is Ahmed. Inside the 20-metre line, tackled by Cooper. Utai is met over in the same side of the park. Out on the 30-metre line now. Ryan a dummy half, Perry short pass. Shilowski, 35 away from his line. Held down by Corey Payne. Both 17s have had a very good game tonight. Nate Miles for Canterbury and Corey Payne for the Dragons. Played by Lolisi. Patton gets it away for Grimaldi, and Grimaldi is met by Brian Norrie. And referee Simpkins calling held, and that's one way to avoid unnecessary injuries. calling it fairly early. Sherwin gets a kick in. Going back is Cooper. Cooper and Hornby combine. Hornby's beaten the first line, stood in the second, gave it to Manu. Manu is able to pass from the ground. And it'll be played on the 30-metre line now.
Well read there by Matt Cooper. Showed good speed to get back as Reece Simmons out of dummy half. I mentioned the fact that the St George Illawarra side without Barrett, Riles, Gasnier tonight, but the Dogs also missing Willie Mason, Reddy Matua, Ben Harris. Terry penalised here for hanging on to the leg too long. The Dragons fine touch 35 out.
Tap to be taken. 15 metres into Bulldogs territory. Post-match tonight. Matty Johns in both dressing rooms. Plus the latest on Sunday's Broncos-Cowboys extravaganza. And of course the latest on Sonny Bill's injury and Marco Mealy. Now it's gone away to Head. Scorer of 2 tries. This is Corey Payne. 9 metres from the line. 46-24, the Dogs leading. Hornby put down.
High shot.
It's a high shot.
Hold, I'll give you the mark.
Chris Armott was the man that went high.
Guys, you're going to go to the line, great.
Here's Norrie looking for the line. The Dogs, 2 of them coming in to make the tackle. Shilowski was one of them. Now Head, knocked down by the Dogs, Sherwin. And the scrum will go down just inside the 10-metre line, and it'll be a loose head and feed for the Dragons.
And of course, for you Friday night regulars, next Friday night we'll see the Bulldogs again. This time up against the Cowboys, up there in Townsville. The Cowboys' first ever Friday night game. And if they can get over the Broncos on Sunday,
hang on.
what a blockbuster that'll be next Friday night. Remember, the Cowboys beat them in the finals last year, Rabbits. Do you think they'll be seeking some revenge up there, the Bulldogs?
I think the Broncos will be seeking revenge on Sunday, first things first. And we'll have that telecast for you at 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon from Suncorp. As it goes away to Head. Nice pass behind Thompson. Trouble coming, and Cooper goes in to score. Not really trouble, is it, when you're leading by that margin, but it was lovely execution by the Dragons. They trailed 28-0 at half-time, and they have now scored 28 points of their own in the second half.
And this is the Dragons at their best. This is how they love to attack. Looping second man plays. Lance Thompson goes through. Extra man gets involved. Ben Hornby up from fullback. That's how Trent Barrett likes to operate, getting those sweeping players, and I thought that's where the confrontation would be. The Dogs up and in defence up against those looping runners. But they were blown away in the first half hour. Matt Cooper hoping to have an injury-free season. State of Origin rep from last year.
So time, according to the ground clock, has expired. Gorrell with an academic-only kick from the 20-metre line across the face of the uprights. And that is full time. There's the siren. 46 points to 28, the final score. They were downcast at half-time, the Dragon supporters, but they have scored 28 points in the second half to 14 or to 18 points by the Bulldogs. So there's something to take home and be consoled about.